So, shall we end the video? We got Simple Paint, the most insane police chases ever.
The White Bronco Chase. On June
I
17, 1994, former NFL star O.J. Simpson became the subject of the
shoot.
most watched police chase in American history.
Oh,
5 days
shoot.
earlier, his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman had been found murdered outside her Los Angeles home. Police
Oh,
identified Simpson as the
I put
primary
it down.
suspect and
What was
arranged for
this?
him to surrender at 11 a.m. that Friday. Simpson failed to appear. Around 5 p.m., his friend Robert Kardashian read a letter from
Robert.
Simpson that many interpreted as a farewell message. Shortly before 6 p.m., Simpson himself called 911, and police traced his cell phone signal to Interstate 5 near Santa Ana. At approximately 6:20 p.m., a motorist also spotted Simpson in the backseat of a white Ford Bronco driven by his friend Al Cowlings in Orange County. Police attempted to pull the vehicle over, but Cowlings refused to stop, telling
I ain't lie, I
911 that
never
Simpson
heard
had a
this
gun
story,
to his
bro.
own head. Rather than force a confrontation, police decided to follow at a safe distance. The Bronco traveled north on Interstate 405 at
Damn, bro,
speeds
you really.
rarely exceeding 35 miles per hour, followed by more than a dozen police cars. News helicopters tracked the chase from above, broadcasting live footage. Television networks interrupted the NBA Finals
He really was a star, bro. And this was during the NBA season,
to
too.
show Simpson's Bronco crawling along the freeway. Thousands of people lined overpasses and
They
highway
cheering
sides,
a bit?
many holding signs of support. The surreal
Who are
scene
they
continued for
supporting?
nearly 2 hours and 60 miles. At 7:57 p.m., the Bronco pulled into Simpson's Brentwood estate, where supporters had already gathered. Simpson refused to exit the vehicle. After approximately 50 minutes of negotiations, Simpson
50
finally
minutes.
emerged at
They
8:47
let him
p.m.
sit in the car for 50 minutes and just stood
and
there.
surrendered to police. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. The chase was watched by an estimated 95 million people.
Damn.
The Southern California
That's like the
Manhunt.
whole
On
world.
February 3, 2013,
Ain't it?
former Los Angeles police
They're
officer
close enough.
Christopher Dorner began a killing spree targeting LAPD officers and their
What?
families. Dorner, fired from the
He
department
killed
in
his
2008,
own
published a
police
manifesto
officer, bro.
online detailing his grievances and promising revenge. His first victims were 28-year-old Monica Kwan, daughter
I
of a
feel like
former
females are always the top, like, uh, what's shit called? Targets
LAPD
and
captain,
like stuff
and her
like this, bro.
fiancé Keith Lawrence, both shot to death in their car. 3 days
Damn.
later, on February 7th, Dorner ambushed 2 Riverside police officers, killing Michael Crane and seriously wounding another. The LAPD launched one of the largest manhunts in California history. That same morning in Torrance, LAPD officers mistakenly opened fire on a pickup truck carrying 2
Damn.
women delivering newspapers,
You didn't kill the
believing it was
wrong people,
Dorner's
bro.
vehicle. Both women were wounded by the
Y'all didn't
officer's
even check.
gunfire.
Y'all just
The
shot.
manhunt intensified when police received reports that Dorner had fled to the San Bernardino Mountains. On February 12th, he took the cabin owners hostage at a property near Big Bear Lake, tying them up before stealing their purple Nissan SUV. One of the homeowners
The
freed themselves
Nissan.
at 12:20 p.m. and called 911.
There's
Minutes later, Fish and Wildlife officers spotted the stolen vehicle.
Fish
Dorner
and
abandoned the
wildlife
car,
officer,
carjacked
bro.
a pickup
I
truck
didn't
from
even
a
know that was a
resident,
thing.
and crashed it before running into a nearby cabin. Police surrounded the building and a fierce gun battle erupted. Dorner fired at officers with multiple weapons, killing
Damn.
San Bernardino County Sheriff's Deputy
I put
Jeremiah
him.
McKay
I
and
put him.
wounding another deputy. Police fired tear gas into the
Oh, he has
cabin,
2
which caught
guns.
fire. As flames engulfed the structure, a single gunshot was heard from inside. When firefighters extinguished the blaze, they found Dorner's body with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The 9-day
Damn.
manhunt had left 5 people dead, including Dorner.
I put
The
him.
Rodney King Chase. On March 3, 1991, Rodney King was driving his 1987 Hyundai Excel on the Foothill Freeway in Los Angeles after watching a basketball game with friends Brian Allen and Freddie Helms. California Highway Patrol officers noticed King's car traveling at approximately 110 miles per hour and
Damn.
activated their lights and siren. King, who was on parole for robbery and had been drinking, later said he feared returning to prison for a parole violation. Instead of stopping, he accelerated to speeds over 115 miles per hour. The high-speed
What was the
chase through
point
the
of
San
that, bro?
Fernando Valley lasted approximately 8 miles. King ran red lights and stop signs, drove on the wrong side of the road, and narrowly avoided
Drove on the
multiple
wrong side of the
collisions.
road.
CHP transferred the pursuit to LAPD as King exited the freeway. King eventually stopped at the entrance to Hanson Dam Park.
Shouldn't
Officers
it's all on
ordered
the
King
same
and his 2
side.
passengers to exit the vehicle. The passengers complied immediately. King remained in his car. When he finally emerged, he appeared to be acting strangely, waving at a police helicopter overhead and patting the ground. Officers
Bro,
later
what?
testified they believed he was under the influence of PCP, though toxicology reports did
What
not
the fuck is
confirm
that?
PCP, showing alcohol and marijuana.
What does
Four
that mean?
LAPD officers, Stacy Kuhn, Lawrence Powell,
Um,
Timothy Wind, and Theodore Brazino, approached King. When he did not comply with orders to lie face down, they attempted to subdue him with a taser. When that failed, they began beating him with batons.
yo,
Unknown to
what?
the officers, nearby resident George Holliday was filming from his apartment balcony. The footage showed officers striking King more than
Yo,
50 times with metal batons while he lay on the ground. The beating left King with multiple facial fractures, a broken ankle, and numerous bruises and lacerations. The 89-second video sparked nationwide protests, and eventually, the 1992 Los
bro,
Angeles riots
damn, they didn't expect to like get caught. Like, why? I ain't.
after the officers were acquitted in April 1992. The
I don't
Colorado
fuck with
crime
that,
spree.
bro.
On March 13, 2014, Ryan Cole Stone began a crime spree in Longmont, Colorado, that would result in one of the state's most notorious police chases. The 28-year-old started at a gas station where he stole an SUV with a 4-year-old child strapped in the back seat. Stone
What?
fled south on Interstate 25 toward Denver, with police in
4-year-old
pursuit.
child.
He drove at speeds
Wait,
exceeding 100
but that
miles
means
per
a
hour through
4-year-old
the
child was
Denver
by
metro
themselves
area during morning rush hour.
in the
In
car.
Brighton, north of Denver, Stone crashed the SUV into a minivan, but left the unharmed child behind. He immediately dragged a driver from another vehicle and stole that car,
Okay.
continuing his rampage. Stone raced through the Denver area, weaving recklessly through traffic. Near Denver International Airport, he lost control and crashed the second stolen vehicle. He then carjacked a third vehicle at gunpoint,
Shit.
forcing the driver out of a pickup
Damn.
truck. During the pursuit, Colorado
So he
State
stole
Trooper
one car with a kid in it, crashed that car, stole another car, crashed that car, then stole another car at gunpoint.
Bellaman He attempted to deploy spike strips on E470.
And they did
Stone
the
drove
spike
directly
strip?
at him, running over
Damn.
the trooper and causing catastrophic leg and foot injuries that required multiple
Why did he
surgeries.
sit in front of it? In front of.
The chase had
I
now
don't
covered
know.
over 75 miles across
Why did he
5
sit in
counties
front of
over
the
approximately
damn
90 minutes. Officers
strip?
attempted multiple times to stop Stone with spike strips, but he either avoided them or continued driving on
outside the
damaged
strip.
tires. Finally, around 8
Well, he ain't gonna
a.m.,
ever do that for
Stone
long.
crashed the third vehicle on Interstate
Yo,
25
this
in Lone
dude is
Tree,
so horrible
Douglas
at
County.
driving, though.
Officers
This is what I'm saying. They be letting anybody just get a license.
surrounded the crashed
Shit,
vehicle with weapons
well, this
drawn.
2020
Stone
this
attempted to
2015.
flee on foot, but was quickly apprehended. He was arrested and charged with 18 counts, including attempted murder of a
Damn.
police officer,
Oh,
aggravated robbery, kidnapping,
Sorry,
vehicular eluding, and child abuse. In 2015,
Sorry.
Stone was convicted and sentenced to 160 years in prison.
damn.
The 137
Yeah, it was
shots
over.
chase. On November 29, 2012,
137
Timothy Russell
shots.
and Melissa Williams led Cleveland
on,
police
dog.
on a high-speed chase
You don't
that
need
ended
that
in one
many
of the most
shots,
controversial police shootings in recent American history. The pursuit began when Russell's 1979 Chevrolet Malibu backfired near the Justice Center in downtown Cleveland,
Backfired.
creating a loud bang that officers believed was gunfire. Over 60 Cleveland police officers and approximately 62 patrol cars from multiple
Damn.
agencies joined the chase,
I need all that-
which reached
all them
speeds
people
over
for one
100
person?
miles per hour through city
That's like
streets.
100.
The pursuit lasted
100 some
22
people.
minutes and covered approximately 23 miles through Cleveland and into East Cleveland. Russell drove erratically,
Oh, you don't need that
running
many
red
damn
lights,
people,
driving
bro.
on sidewalks,
promise you don't.
and narrowly missing
Driving on the
pedestrians.
sidewalk is insane. I ain't gonna lie,
Officers
that's
believed they were chasing armed suspects, and some reported hearing gunshots during the pursuit, though
Driving
no
on
gun
the
was ever fired by the
sidewalk, bro.
suspects. Supervisors lost control of the chase as
But that's a
officers
life or death situation, though. Like, thinking something's gunshots and it's not, and then now you're chasing them. Now you assume he got a gun.
violated department
Like,
policies
you
by
feel me?
joining without authorization. The chase
And they
finally
join with the authorization. And I know, like, yeah, that's how it works with certain counties. Like, if you're in a specific county, the person, like, the first county that they pass can't no longer be in the chase anymore. Unless they ask permission to shut that.
ended in the parking lot of Heritage Middle School in East Cleveland
In the
when
middle
Russell's
school?
car became trapped by surrounding police vehicles. Officers surrounded the vehicle
Why did he
and opened
travel?
fire in a sustained barrage that lasted
Damn.
approximately 20 seconds.
Y'all
When the
all
shooting
shooting?
stopped, Russell and Williams were dead. 13 officers
Okay,
had
then.
fired
13
a
officers.
total of 130.
Come on, dog. Y'all don't need that many damn bullets, bro. For two people, bro. And it's like you didn't even check to see if they was armed or not. You just said, "Fucking, I'm just going to feel me." Like, come on, bro. 137, dude. Y'all, come on, bro. Like, be real. What do you need 137 shots for? You could have at least checked and see if they was alive or like something after at least about 10. But like, there's no way y'all sat there and just shot these dudes for 137 shots, bro. Like, come on, bro.
7 rounds into the car. Russell
Y'all
was
just
hit
greedy.
23 times, and Williams was
Damn.
hit 24 times. Neither had been
Damn.
armed. The backfire that started the chase was the only gunshot that had occurred. A Department of Justice investigation found systemic problems with Cleveland police policies on use of force and
They
vehicle
ain't follow that
pursuits.
shit, bro.
Officer
They ain't
Michael
do that
Brelo,
right.
who jumped on the hood of the car and fired
Jumped on the
49
hood.
shots total, including
Yo,
his
come on, bro. It's like you don't even need. You already have 100-something different police officers, and now you jumping on the hood, bro. Come on, dog. You damn near risking your life now. Because if they was to drive, your ass would have been on the damn railing right here, bro. You feel me? Or you would
final
have got ran over.
15 shots through the windshield, was charged with voluntary manslaughter, but acquitted in 2015.
What that mean?
The dancing passenger chase.
Oh,
On
okay.
April 7th, 2016, Los Angeles witnessed one of the strangest
Dancing
police chases
passenger.
in recent memory, when 2 men led police on a pursuit in a blue Ford Mustang convertible following a burglary in Cerritos. The chase began around 1:24 p.m. when LA County Sheriff's deputies attempted to pull over the Mustang driven by 20-year-old Herschel Reynolds with 19-year-old Isaiah Young as passenger.
Bro,
Both were
that's my
suspected of residential burglary. Reynolds refused to stop, instead leading police on a slow-speed
Residential?
pursuit through city streets and freeways. What made this chase bizarre was Young's behavior. He stood up in the moving convertible and began dancing and waving at news helicopters
Yo.
hovering overhead. He appeared
Bro, it's getting
completely
jiggy.
unconcerned about the police pursuit, instead
I mean,
treating it like a
technically,
party.
he's not doing
The chase
nothing.
was broadcast live on local
Well,
television,
no, if he,
with
no,
news anchors struggling to describe the surreal scene.
They say
The
he's
Mustang traveled through
driving
downtown and Hollywood,
I saw
with
him
Young
robbing
continuing to dance and gesture at pursuing
If he ain't a
officers.
pastor, he
At
could-
various
he could
points,
jig.
he appeared to be taking selfies and recording video on his phone. On Hollywood Boulevard in the rain,
Hey.
Reynolds performed multiple donuts and
Oh, yeah.
360-degree spins. Young even threw an object at a TMZ
Oh, yeah,
tour bus
nice.
that briefly blocked their path. Crowds gathered along the route, with some people cheering and recording
There's some
videos
music
as the
in that
convertible passed by. The chase continued for over an hour as Reynolds made loops through Los Angeles.
hour?
Police followed cautiously, with helicopters tracking
How do
from
y'all
above.
not-
Eventually, Reynolds drove to a friend's house on 51st Street and Hoover Street in South Los Angeles
How y'all
and
take
stopped.
an hour
Both
for a
men
police
exited the
chase?
damaged
I would say
convertible
the average police chase is like no more than 5 minutes, bro. An hour, bro. Y'all were chasing these dudes for a whole hour.
and began
y'all
celebrating with friends
And y'all
waiting
didn't
there,
reach him at
taking selfies and giving high fives. After a minute or two, sheriff's deputies arrived and surrounded the group.
Bro, it was
Reynolds and Young surrendered without resistance. Reynolds was charged with felony evading and burglary. The chase became an internet sensation, with Young's dancing trending
He
on
was getting
social
jiggy, though.
media for days. The Boston Manhunt
They had no
pursuit.
music,
On
bro.
April 19th,
They couldn't
2013,
even have no
Watertown,
music in that bit.
Massachusetts
Getting jiggy
became the
with
scene of a
music.
dramatic car chase and shootout following the Boston
Yeah.
Marathon bombing. Brothers Tamerlan and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev had killed 3 people and injured hundreds with pressure cooker bombs at the marathon finish line on April 15th. After their
everybody
photos
that
were
died.
released on April
They-
18th, the brothers went on the run. Late that evening, they shot and
Good.
killed MIT police officer Sean Collier on the Cambridge
I'll fit
campus,
him.
attempting to steal his service weapon. They then carjacked a Mercedes SUV in Cambridge, forcing the driver, Dun Meng, to ride with them at gunpoint. During the approximately 90-minute ordeal, the brothers told Meng they were the Boston bombers. At a gas station in Cambridge, Meng managed to escape when Dzhokhar went inside to pay. He immediately
Right.
called
Escape?
911, providing police with the vehicle description and location. Watertown police spotted the stolen Mercedes around 12:30 a.m. and began pursuit. The
12:30
chase
a.m.
was brief but intense, with the Tsarnaevs driving recklessly
Driving
through
on the
residential
sidewalk
streets.
again, bro?
When officers cornered them on Laurel Street, the brothers exited the vehicle and opened fire with handguns.
That's
A
it.
fierce gun battle
Did I
erupted
say
in the
two
quiet
pistols?
neighborhood. Officers took cover behind vehicles as bullets flew in both directions. The Tsarnaevs also threw improvised explosive devices at police, including pipe bombs and a pressure cooker bomb, with several detonating
Pressure
during the
cooker bomb.
firefight. Transit police officer
What?
Richard Donahue was shot by friendly fire and nearly
Damn.
killed during the exchange.
He got
The
shot
gun
by
battle
some
lasted
people?
several minutes. Tamerlan Tsarnaev was shot multiple times by police.
Damn.
As officers moved to arrest him, Dzhokhar drove the stolen Mercedes directly at them and toward his
How did
brother.
he get in the car?
Officers dove out of the way as Dzhokhar ran over Tamerlan before speeding
Damn.
away. Tamerlan
He ran over
died
his
from his
own
injuries.
RP,
Dzhokhar
bro.
abandoned the damaged
He ran over his
Mercedes
own
and
brother.
fled on foot, beginning a
That's
19-hour manhunt that locked down Boston. He was eventually found
did he
hiding in a
get back
boat
in
in
the
a
car?
Watertown backyard. He was later convicted and sentenced to death. The San
Damn,
Diego
sentenced
tank
to death?
rampage. On May 17, 1995, Sean Timothy Nelson
These are
stole
all
an
1990s.
M60A3
A
patent tank
tank?
from a California Army National
Oh,
Guard
no.
armory in San Diego and led police on one of the most bizarre pursuits in
Stealing
American
a tank
history.
is insane.
Nelson, a 35-year-old unemployed plumber and Gulf War Army veteran, was
Unemployed
experiencing
plumber.
severe personal and financial problems. He had recently lost his home and was struggling with drug addiction. That afternoon,
Damn, bro, you lose your home and your first thing to go to drugs, bro? Yeah, we gotta do better with our
Nelson
drugs.
broke into the National Guard Armory on Mesa College Drive in
And
Kearney
then go
Mesa.
to the,
Security at the facility was minimal, with an open gate and no alarm system. The tanks in the
that's
vehicle
their
yard were
fault, bro.
unsecured, requiring
That's their
only a
fault. I ain't-
push-button starter to
That's
operate
their
with
fault.
no keys needed. Nelson
That's
tried
their fault.
unsuccessfully to start
They don't
two
got no
tanks
keys,
before
no
the third
locks on their shit.
M60A3 roared to
And you
life.
could just
A guard
press
spotted
start.
him, but had no weapon to
Ain't
stop
getting that
him.
bit?
The 57-ton armored vehicle crashed through the armory fence and onto city
Damn.
streets. Police received calls about a
I've never
tank
seen a
driving
tank
through
on a road.
residential neighborhoods and initially thought it was a prank. When officers arrived, they
Prank.
found Nelson driving the massive
What you
tank
mean you
down
thought it was a
residential
prank?
streets, crushing everything in his path.
That could have
The
literally
tank's
killed people, and I'm thinking it was a prank.
tracks tore up pavement and destroyed fire hydrants, utility poles, and traffic lights. Nelson crushed approximately 40 vehicles, including
Damn.
cars and a recreational vehicle.
Were
He
people
knocked
in it?
down power lines, cutting electricity to thousands of homes. He even attempted to knock over a pedestrian bridge on
like people's
Interstate 805,
power
but
was on.
failed. Nelson drove the tank onto State Route 163, crushing more cars and forcing traffic to scatter. The tank's weight and
Damn.
steel tracks made it virtually unstoppable, capable of driving over vehicles and through concrete barriers.
Driving
Police
over
followed at a
vehicles is
safe
insane.
distance, unable to stop the
How do you
armored
even
vehicle
stop it,
traveling
bro?
at approximately 30 miles per hour. News helicopters captured live footage as Nelson drove through neighborhoods and over vehicles. The rampage continued for 23 minutes through Claremont and onto Highway 163. Finally,
Damn.
the tank became stuck on a concrete highway
I
median.
got stuck.
One of the tracks came off, and the vehicle could
What
no
would they
longer
have
move.
done if it
4
wasn't-
police officers quickly surrounded and climbed onto the immobilized
Just to,
tank.
like,
Officer Paul Paxton
isn't it,
cut
like,
open the hatch with
ammo and
bolt
shit
cutters,
like that?
while his partner, Officer Richard
Like
Piner,
bombs
looked
and
through the
shit?
opening. Nelson sat in the driver's seat and refused to surrender, still trying to rock the tank free. Officer Piner fired one shot, striking Nelson in the upper body. Nelson was pulled from the tank and transported to Sharp Memorial Hospital, where he died from his injuries. If you'd like to see more stories like this, make sure to subscribe and feel free to drop suggestions for the next video in the
Y'all make good decisions out in the world, man. RP everybody that died. Hopefully their family getting well. This is probably a long time ago, so it's been a while, but lay y'all, man, more videos today.